Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today we're going to continue to try make Kayn work. And one idea that I saw on LoRMaster.com, which if you don't know is a great site for stats and keeping up track of ladders and decks, etc., was this interesting Gwen Kayn deck that was doing pretty well. And obviously it's pretty much playing the full Gwen package and the full Kayn package and just combining the two. And the idea is that obviously the Gwen Hallowed buffs from her package, so from the host, from the Phantom Butler, from the conductor, we even playing triple strike of the band, even formal levitation for more value. All of these buffs, and even one eternal dancers, all of these buffs are really good for Kayn when Kayn has overwhelm or when Kayn has elusive, right? This is probably the one deck that could potentially actually play for the Shadow Assassin win condition if the opponent doesn't have a way to react to the elusive, right? In addition to that, you're still doing the same things that other Gwen and other Kayn deck do, right? So Gwen is you become such a big threat as she gets more buffed up and morphed up, more and more buff with the Hallow buffs. You get a heal every single time. Kayn just becomes a big threat, just removing opponent's units all the time. The Hallow buff means that you can remove even some of the bigger units that you wouldn't have been able to remove before. And just kind of like that. Like really, honestly, this deck is just playing the units and just taking advantage of the fact that you use the Hallow buff to try to find like a way to finish the game. Now, we are also playing two Pirate, as you see here, because sometimes you can high roll some nice weapons, whether Scout, Overwhelm, etc., to take advantage of stuff. So let's kind of go through the full list. Host, pretty straightforward. Best Hallow unit in the game. Pirate, we just talked about it. Forsaken Bakai lets us predict into exactly what we want, and also starts enabling us to allow to draw the Kayn. I do play one Darkened Halberd. It is actually a pretty nice buff for Gwen, giving her +2/+2, or even for Kayn sometimes. And there are times that you can actually, the game might go long enough for you to play Tarosh. You never know. Two Keeper of the Bots, just a nice way to be able to get Kayn in your field. Obviously, we're trying to play at least 4 Cultists. Well, I guess 3 Cultists to be able to draw the Kayn when we play multiple Cultist unit. Also, the lifesteal instantly really good because of the fact that you can actually buff this up with the Kayn, right? So you can buff this up, with the Hallow buff. So you can buff this up with the Hallow buff so that this ends up life stealing for a ton of damage. Phantom Butler, pretty straightforward. Conductor, pretty straightforward. Gives us access to another Ghostly Band. Again, we want to stack up those Hallow buffs as much as possible. I do like the Formal Invitation because he actually lets me summon some of the other key units back into my, get those units back into my hand and stops me from running out of value too quickly. Shadowblade Fanatic is just there to kind of another unit that can potentially get us our Kayn. Strike of the Band just to stack those buff. One Furious Welder is really one of our only forms of interaction in this deck. I'm not playing stuff like Vengeance. So it is really good, and it obviously lets us level up Kayn in a lot of pinch situations. Gwen, amazing card. Ranger Knight just really works well, again, with the Hallow buff, especially because you can attack with her twice. Healer's Resurrection to bring back Arcane of our Gwen. Eternal Dances for some combo turns. Atrocity to just finish up the game. We have enough Hallow buffs that sometimes you can get a really big unit that you can use Atrocity after combat. And then finally, one Utter Devastation. Another form of removal in case that we get into a little bit of a sticky situation. The deck ends up being really fun, really ends up working out really well. I'm really surprised how well the Hallow buffs work with Kayn, as you'll see in some of the games today. So hopefully you give this a try. Not a lot of Kayn decks out there. The new champions are none of them really doing too well, except for probably Jats because of timelines. But hopefully, this kind of breathes some life into Kayn and gives us another way to play Kayn. And I also just love Gwen. So any excuse for me to play Gwen just works out really, really well for me. So enjoy the games coming up soon. As always, if you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Annie Ziggs. So if this is an aggro deck, then the opponent's going to be in trouble. Because we have enough ways to heal between Gwen and Kayn that I think we can beat up the aggro deck. It might just be a control deck, though. It might just be like a Ravenclaw, a Ravenbloom Conservatory deck, which I haven't seen in a while. But it is possible too. Okay, so it's just an aggro deck. Let's do Bakai. I want to kind of predict this or Gwen. I think it has to be Gwen. Lets me lifesteal right back up. Lets me lifesteal all this damage that the opponent is doing. We can play host next turn, and then also have the Cultist on the turn 3. play one on turn 4. Like at this point, we're just playing on curve, right? So we're kind of just playing on curve at this point. We need one more cultist to be able to get the Kayn. We do have the conductor that can actually stop the 6 from attacking. So depending on what the opponent does on turn 3, we either play conductor or we play the Shadowblade Fanatic. If it's 6, we play conductor. If it's not 6, we play Shadowblade Fanatic. We need one more cultist. Okay, we get Kayn naturally anyways. I like the Fanatic. I like the Fanatic here. Alright. I like the Fanatic and I like blocking with the host. We also do play the lifesteal unit, by the way. We play that 2-cost lifesteal unit. Right? Which could be a big problem for the opponent. So here now we have a quick attack unit and we have the Gwen. Both of which have quick attack and they're gonna push 5 damage. So the opponent kind of has to block because this is 10 damage. They could have the way to kill Gwen here. But if this is just an aggro deck, there shouldn't be a lot of ways for them to kill this. I guess they could have Sentry. Yeah, no. See? So here we're pushing 10 damage plus healing 2. Actually, we're pushing 12 damage if the opponent doesn't block. Has to block. Goes ahead with the block. We have the Kayn to kill the Annie on a future turn. Now, we're not gonna block with Gwen. So we're not gonna block with Gwen because we don't want to lose to the Disintegrate, right? So we don't want to block the Annie with the Gwen because we don't want to lose to the Disintegrate. So I think we just block here. Take the 7 damage because we're going to be life stealing back up once Kayn levels up. And this Kayn is just dealing so much damage too. This Kayn is dealing so much damage. We get the Annie for free, right? We get the Annie for free while also not having to worry about the Disintegrate. I'm pretty sure the opponent has a second Annie though, so it is what it is. And we get to level up our Kayn now. Gwen also gets to level up here. We go back to 15 and we have a way to kill one unit that the opponent has. That's going to be problematic. And we leveled up Kayn. I don't think I'm going to be in too much problem. In too much problem here. We could have gone for the Phantom Butler and just push some of that fearsome damage, but I didn't want to risk the opponent having a way to stun the Gwen or something like that. So I think it is correct to just go for the open attack. I think it is correct to go for the open attack. I wish I had another Cultist so that we can get another Kayn. Because the Kayn Shadow Step ends up being really good, right? We have played 2 other Cultist cards so far. This Fervor could be a little bit annoying. They might go for Fervor plus Disintegrate, right? 3 cards. This doesn't get cancelled. That's the Fervor. There's the Pokey, Disintegrate. So opponent decided that it's better to just kill Gwen. We're still healing 2, so we're only taking 1 damage from this. Opponent does get the Tivers, which is kind of annoying. But we can just... Can we just do this? Can we just keep this Gwen alive? No, we cannot, because this Fervor... Okay, yeah, because this Fervor is going face. So there's no way for us to keep Gwen alive through the Disintegrate. So we just go like this. We have the Furious Welder anyways to stop the Tivers. So I don't think it's a big deal. We have another Hallowed buff now, which means that when this levels up, the Overwhelm is going to start kind of completely punishing the opponent. We can play the Conductor, the Mist, and the Phantom Butler, and the Host. Sure. We could just go ahead and do this now too, by the way, but I don't think I want to do it right now. Because this is still at 3, right? So this is still at 3. So this can still kill the Annie anytime that I want. I want to see if the opponent gets greedy and tries to stun the Kayn, right? So what I want to do is that I want the opponent to try to stun the Kayn. Then we do the Furious Welder, which levels up Kayn and lets me replay him. So we predicted correctly that the opponent had Disintegrate, right? Okay, opponent decided not to go that way. I guess we're going to go ahead and just go here then. We're going to go here then. There's the stun. Now we go like this. We kill the Annie. We get the Kayn, which is going to be leveled up. So it ended up not being the Tivers, but it still ended up being the stun. Ooh, wait, because we didn't strike last turn, right? So it doesn't level up the Kayn. That's a good point. Because we didn't strike last turn, we didn't level up the Kayn, which ended up being a problem. This thing is still going to push enough damage. We can keep the Fearsome, right? So we can keep the Fearsome, because the Fearsome should be enough for lethal. 6, 9. Yeah, the Fearsome's going to be just enough for lethal. Because of the Hallowed buff, right? Opponent doesn't have any Fearsome blockers. We get the full Hallowed buff value here. We attack with the Fearsome, which is pushing 9. And the Kayn still levels up, so we have to open attack and just hope that the opponent does have a 1 damage ping. They'll have another Pokestick. I did miss the fact that the Kayn didn't strike last time. But this is lethal right here because of the Hallowed buff. Kayn levels up. And we get the next Kayn, right? Which is what I was talking about. Okay. So Kayn doesn't level up, unfortunately. So we're back to square one. We get the Keeper of the Bots, though, which is kind of nice. Huh. So we're back to a bad spot, then. The opponent top decked that second Fervor. I think that's a mistake from them. I think that's a mistake. Unless they have exactly... I guess they could easily have... They could easily have Flock, right? So they could easily have Flock, which makes me feel like I shouldn't go for this. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. If they have the Flock, they have it. If they have the Flock, they have it. I'm gonna pretend the Flock is not real. They don't have it. Our Kayn levels up and comes back. The bigger unit. So we can replay Kayn, and now we have Raz, which is going to allow us to lifesteal. I think it's always Raz, another Shadow Assassin, by the way, because the Raz is going to finish the game anyways with the overwhelm, because we have enough Hallowed buffs, right? So Raz is always finishing the game regardless. Now, opponent could have like Decimate plus Third Fervor, and that could be really problematic. We do have lifesteal here, though, so the opponent needs to have exactly double Decimate or Decimate plus Fervor. Needs to have enough burn, right? Oh man, actually denying those Kayn hits was so annoying, huh? So I don't care about losing to the Tybo. Okay, so we're gonna have to attack with the Kayn, right? We're gonna have to block with the Kayn. This is actually such a big deal. So we're gonna have to block with the Kayn just so that we don't actually lose. So the opponent ended up with the Farron. Ha. And then it means that the opponent is forcing our open attack. Opponent is forcing our open attack. Now what we can do here... Because this always has to be blocked, right? This always has to be blocked by the Captain Farron. We could just try to lifesteal all the way up. So we can just try to lifesteal as much as possible. Opponent always has to block that with the Captain Farron, right? So opponent's always blocking this with the Captain Farron, but this is healing us up all the way to 18. Sorry. Healing up all the way up to 19, which puts us out of range of the Decimates. The problem is going to be the tie bulk now. So the tie bulk becomes a big deal. And we're back to kind of like a bad spot, right? Now we could put this on this conductor, meaning that the opponent will have to sacrifice their tie bulk. Yeah, so we can go like this. This also gives me an out if I draw the Furious Welder. Okay, we can go Conductor. We will take so much damage from this card. Formal Invitation is huge.
Come on, Tibbers. It's playtime.
Formal Invitation is huge, I think. We can go Host. Unfortunately, we didn't get the lifesteal. I think opponent messed up. Because now we're gonna have so many units. I guess we should have gone for the conductor or the miss. If we go for the Conductor of the Mist... If we go for the Conductor of the Mist, this is dealing 10. If we go for the Conductor of the Mist, we get another unit, right? So we're slightly messed up by not going Conductor. So we can go like this. Decimate, Decimate, and another burn next turn, and that should be enough. There's no way to draw the third Fervor, right? They drew both champions. Like, why don't I get my Gwen here? Okay, that's as good as a Gwen. That's actually as good as a Gwen. Because this gets me the Kayn, which is presenting lethal. Alright, let's see it. What's your last card? You gonna top deck the other out? Whoa. So we just go here and win the game? This also last steals me back to 2. Could be a Fervor, doesn't have it? Alright. Alright. That was also just as good as a Gwen. Obviously, because he ends up just giving us the champion that we need. And you saw how the overwhelm with the Raz just finished up again. A lot closer than I expected, just because the opponent got to deny all my Kayn level up twice. Which is something I keep forgetting about and I need to keep in mind. So GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Gwen, Katarina, Elise. So we're trying to both kind of do the same thing with all our Hallowed buffs. I really like the Fireth. I might have to do the host first though. Might have to do the host first just so that we have blockers. Yeah, I might have to do the host first just so that we have blockers. We still push 2 here. Maybe not? Okay, we are. Okay, great. So this gives me a blocker against everything except for the fearsomes. Yeah, okay, whatever. You get the fearsome, good for you. Let's go here. The overwhelm is actually kind of like the overwhelm is actually really good, by the way. The overwhelm is actually really good, but I also kind of like the Pan of Pain. I also really like the Pan of Pain in this matchup. The tough is actually super underrated in this matchup. Ha. Because we already have Kayn with the overwhelm. The overwhelm is really just gonna be for Gwen. If we draw the Gwen, I think we go for the overwhelm. I think we go for the overwhelm because there's a chance that we also draw a unit that can use this, right? We're gonna go ahead and block here. I just want to get my hollow buffs in the graveyard because we can always give this thing overwhelm if we wanted to. I mean, we're not gonna do it, but this is now this is an open attack for 3, right? So it's gonna be an open attack for 3, and we still keep the conductor. Don't want the opponent to have a chance to do the Katarina here, so I think I'm just gonna take my 3 damage. At the end of the day, we're racing them down, right? So we want to just take our 3 damage. The opponent could have Katarina right here, which could be a little bit annoying. Which actually means that I should probably do the Fisher Whack, right? So I should probably do the Fisher Whack on the host right now. The problem is that that deuces to a Haste Spike. That deuces to a Haste Spike or Bioface. So we probably don't want to have to do... We don't want to do the Wielder into the Katarina. Even if we put the Fisher Whack on the host, because it loses to too many things. Loses to too many things. Now, by putting the Fisher Whack on the host, we are able to just block those, which is nice. But I think I'm gonna go for the conductor. I think I'm just gonna go for the conductor. Again, I know I'm making myself vulnerable to. Okay, yeah, I'm making myself very vulnerable to a Katarina. Gwen. Okay, so we're taking 2 damage, but we can block everything else. The Kayn can kill the Gwen because of the Hallow buff, but then the Kayn will lose to so the Kayn can kill it because of the Hallow buff, but then he's still losing to too many things, right? Don't think it's actually correct. Don't think it's actually correct, right? I think it's actually correct to block with that hose. It's losing to the flock is what I'm trying to get at, right? So this is losing to the flock. I think I need to keep this hose as a blocker into the Gwen. In case that I need to, right? So we can play the Kayn here.
The child is gone.
Threaten the Gwen. I think I have to force them to have it. So if they have the block or the haste spike to be able to kill Kayn on the stack, I guess flock happens after. Because unfortunately this is only hitting 2, right? And Gwen does 3, so my Kayn is gonna be at 4 HP, so he's gonna die to flock. It's gonna die to the haste spike, right? So it's gonna die to flock, it's gonna die to the haste spike, because the haste spike can be done in the stack. I think we just go for it. Now we are gonna get a second one pretty soon, because we have the... I guess we need one more cultist. We have only played one cultist so far, right? We played the Shadow Blade. So we need one more cultist for the second Kayn. Yeah, that's the haste spike. Whoa! Not on Kayn? You could kill Kayn. Oh wow. The opponent also got an elusive for some reason. Interesting. Okay, so they did it that way to get rid of the Kayn as a blocker. So we're taking 5, 6 damage. 7 damage here. So we're taking 7 damage. We're taking 7 damage. Because opponent got an elusive on the Fallen Reckoner. I mean, he has overwhelm, so actually it's a pretty useless elusive. What we can do is that we can do the Furious Wielder. And we're gonna have to, right? The only downside is that the Gwen doesn't actually die. So we're gonna have to do the Fisher Whack. The Fisher Whack gets me to 4. The Furious Wielder gets me there too, to kill that Gwen. We still take the same amount of damage that we talked about. Actually, we take 2 more damage. So it's gonna be 4 plus 2, 6, 7. Okay, well, I can't let that happen, right?
I should never tire of something so...
Yeah, I have to play the Shadow Fiend. I guess I do play the Shadow Fiend. Because he gets me a free kill on the Butler. We can do the Builder on the Gwen. This is rough. This is rough. But he's still gonna go for it. Okay, I know why. Because they're gonna go here. But I mean, this is the same amount of damage regardless, right? We're always gonna take this amount of damage no matter what. Whether it was gonna be buffed on the Reckoner or buffed there. Tailstones? Okay. So they get to push the 6. They had no mana, by the way, so they just used that. They had no mana. I just realized that. They went for the Tailstones play, and they didn't have mana for it. Yeah, mark it. Mark. Yeah, you lose the mark. I like the Keeper of the Bots. I think I need to heal at this point. So the Keeper of the Bots lets me drag this with Kayn. Okay, opponent decides to go for the Keeper instead of going for Kayn, which I guess is fine. Because what the opponent's going to do is that the opponent's going to play that Fallen Reckoner right after. So if the opponent's going to play that Fallen Reckoner, we need to do the Bakai. So we need to do the Bakai, right? So the Bakai allows me to... We're going to draw another Kayn, by the way. I like the Keeper of the Bots, but I feel like I might need Fearsome blockers. I think it has to be Gwen. Because we're going to draw another Kayn here. Right? So we can go ahead and kill this guy. Kayn levels up. We have another Kayn in our hand as well, so we have the Shadow Step. We need to play around... We need to play around Ruination next turn, unfortunately, right? Opponent has exactly enough mana for Ruination, regardless. This is a problem then, right? So opponent's always just gonna play the Ruination next turn, regardless, right? So at this point, all we can do is play... Opponent will be able to hit this Keeper with the Ruination. Unless we do the Fisher Whack on it. No, because the Ruination will summon 2 of them. The Ruination summons 2 of them, so even with the Fisher Whack here, it's still gonna be the same. So it's gonna be Ruination, we lose all our blockers, leaving us no access to do the Shadow Step. So we lose all our blockers regardless. Because opponent gets to bring back 2 Reckoners. Whoa, that's not a ruination. That is not a ruination. That is not a ruination. Overwhelm is still probably enough. 4 Hallowed buffs, so the 6 becomes a... No, it doesn't. The Gwen. So we go here. Right? This allows me to lifesteal with the Keeper of the Bots into the Eternal. We're gonna have to sacrifice Kayn though, right? We're gonna have to sacrifice Kayn, which is fine because we have a second Kayn. Because he's gonna bring back the Overwhelm. The Overwhelm is gonna hit this, but the opponent also has 2 more units to attack with. So even the 4 lifesteal shouldn't be enough. No, it is. The 4 lifesteal keeps me exactly at 3 HP. So it keeps me exactly at 3 HP because we block here. We block the Overwhelm. Opponent gets rid of both of these blockers, right? And it still pushes them on the damage. We're always going to sacrifice the Kayn no matter what. I don't think what the opponent is thinking about it so much. Now, do we have lethal next turn? Yeah, so here we go. When it goes for it like this, we have to go... I guess if we go here, we live at 2. If we go here, we stay at 3. If we live at 2, we're always losing. So we lose to another Tailstones, right? We lose to another Tailstones. We lose to the Haste Spike also loses us the game because the opponent can deny the lifesteal. So we cannot play around Haste Spike. Haste Spike always wins in the game. Shadow Out Tailstones means that we can actually survive here, which I think has to be the correct play. Yeah, I think we have to just go like this. We go Gwen. We can't play the Fisher Whack just yet. We can go the Ghastly Band and just get some Hallowed boss in the graveyard. We can play the second Kayn. We have the Fisher Whack for the Gwen, which is gonna give her Overwhelm. Kayn also has Overwhelm. We actually should have been the Strike of the Band last time. If we did Strike of the Band last time, we actually just win this game. Yeah, we actually had lethal if we did Strike of the Band. Huh. We would have had 2 more, another Hallowed buff, so that would have gone up to 10. So we go here. I guess we have the Gwen Thread the Needle for lethal. We don't have enough mana for both. I guess we just go like this. My problem with this is that it gives them space for the Harrowing. But we still always lose to the Harrowing regardless, right? We always lose to the Harrowing regardless. So we might as well go for it. So this is pushing 7, and this is going to push another 8 plus 2. That's going to be 17. Actually, yeah, that's exact lethal. I mean, not exact lethal, but that's lethal no matter how he blocks. That's exact lethal here. Yeah, because he's going to be 7. It's going to be another 7. That's 14, and this is 2. Whew. Alright, so if the opponent didn't mess up with that Shadow Out Tailstones, thinking that they had lethal when they started GGing us earlier, they actually probably would have won, because that would have actually been enough for them to come back, right? But they got a little bit too jumpy, got a little bit too greedy, and they get punished for it. So, GG's. That's a satisfying win. That's a satisfying win. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Darkness. We don't have a ton of ways, I guess. Okay, I say that, but we do have the Furious Wielder to deal with, like, their units. However, I definitely want to have Kayn, so I definitely think I need to keep the Keeper of the Bots. Let's go like this. I think I need to find my rest of my cultists. Okay, so we have the Keeper, we have the Shadow Fanatic. Because ideally, if we get one of our Hallow units, it means that Kayn can go up to 4 attack and kill like their Veigar or their center. Opponent only changed 1 card, so it's pretty likely they have a pretty good hand. So we can do the Cultist, or we can do the Shadowblade Fanatic, and potentially, okay, we can do the Bakai as well.
Big head, big brain.
Let's go here. I don't want to get punished by like a random Gohar or a random group shot. I think it's a mistake. Okay, well, Cultist also does the trick, huh? I didn't want to get punished by a random Gohar or group shot, but Cultist also does the trick. So a little unfortunate. Now they get more value here. We can just play on curve, to be honest, and just get the full value here. Wow, so the darkness is gonna be a 5. So darkness is gonna be a 5, and opponent still keeps another catalyzer to hit it for 6. Awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. So let's go Forsaken by Kai. I think we have to go Forsaken by Kai at this point, to be honest. I'm gonna just go for all the Kayns that I can. We know we're gonna top deck another one. I guess actually this could have been the one that we just top deck. That we just predicted into, which is fine. If that's the case. It's kind of annoying. The fact that the darkness is already at 5 is very, very annoying. It makes this game a lot difficult because now the Kayn can just die to a darkness. Yep. Darkness is gonna be a 6. Wow. So now literally this can just kill. This can literally just kill the Kayn right away. This can literally just kill the Kayn right away. I guess should we do we go for it? I think we go for it, right? Yeah, I think we let the opponent kill the Kayn. I think we let the opponent kill the Kayn for free before they get a discount on this. Yeah, be my guess. Because we have another Kayn anyways, and this enables our potential Eternal Dancers. I kind of wanted to enable the equipment first, right? The only downside here is that it does mean that we lose our strike, because Kayn was the only way that we had a strike for it. So here we can go like this. Now we have the second Kayn. This might allow me to survive later on, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. If we block like this, then obviously we're just kind of taking damage on the Kayn for no reason. Darkness is already like a 7. Darkness is literally like a 7. And this can now just die to like double Pokestick and double Bio. Unfortunately, the double catalyzer that got to hit as many times as they did just made it a big problem. The opponent could easily have Vengeance here. Another Cultist. Wow, that's such a good card for them. That is such a good card for them. Alright. Third time's the charm. And then we have Utter Devastation for next turn. Third time's the charm. This is our third Kayn. I just want to kill that Veigar. Oh, but he doesn't even kill it because we don't have a strike of the band yet. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about the fact that we don't have this guy yet. Okay, so opponent's just gonna wallop anyways. I guess they're scared like the Biofeast. Ha. Interesting. I might just do the Utter Devastation next turn. Might just do the Utter Devastation next turn anyways. And then let the opponent commit the darkness. That darkness is doing 10 by the way, so we're gonna go down to 4 HP. We're literally gonna go down to 4 HP. Which is a problem. We don't have the 10 mana to summon the Tarkush. We don't have the mana to summon the Tarkush. Opponent's down to 3 cards. They just need to have a second Ixtali or have a second Veigar and we lose the game. So second Ixtali, second Veigar, either one of those loses us the game. I guess we could go here and try to heals too, but again, it doesn't even matter. Healing 2 doesn't even matter. What we can do, I guess we can go the Eternal Dancers, because why not? Just get a free Kayn value. Oh, I guess actually we get the 3-2, right? Wait, can? Okay, so opponent's just looking for outs. But we still get to lifesteal a little bit. But again, we just lose to the Ixtali. We lose to the Ixtali regardless. I'm hoping that maybe we can win through the Tarosh. That's my only win condition at this point. Base Sprout, so if the opponent gets an elusive, Rainbow Fish, they also win. Telescope, okay, so they're just looking for like a way to win. 6 HP, wow. Darkness at 10. And I actually usually don't see Darkness going that high. Roadmaker? We can go here. Justice Rider. We can go... We can strike at the band. We can strike at the band, to be honest. Let's just get a Hallowed buff down in the graveyard. What did you have? What is that card that they're putting just play there? Huh. Interesting. Don't know what that card is. I'm just gonna summon Tarosh. I'm just gonna summon Tarosh. Just gonna summon Tarosh. Right? This gets some lifesteal, by the way. Because we get the Stally back into our hand, right? So this lets me get some lifesteal because we get the Stally back. This also has Fearsome, which is kind of nice. Do we actually go for the Keeper of the Bots? So I kind of feel like doing the Keeper of the Bots. Kind of feel like I just want a lifesteal. This takes me out of range of an Stally. This takes me out of range of an Stally, right? Which is kind of nice. Our darkness is actually going to be buffed up to 3. The 10 is a mistake. The 10 is a mistake. It's counting the darkness that he has buffed. So that's actually a mistake. So it's actually going to be 3. The stress defense doesn't matter to me. I just want a lifesteal, right? So the opponent actually should have gone for the lifesteal. So their darkness is still at 10. Ours is going to be at 3. It's just a visual glitch that happens. So it's just a visual glitch that happens. Now, the problem is that we can never get Talos. I guess we're going to get Talos again next turn. So this is dealing 3. Second, 2 Stallies are a problem. So 2 Stallies could be a problem. Let's go here. Let's just kill the Justice Rider. But the second, one Stally is only dealing 10, right? So one Stally is only dealing 10. They will need to have a little bit more than that to actually kill us. Oh, that's a huge draw. Because we can stop, yeah. So they got the Stally. They got the double Stally. So they're gonna go kill the Tarosh, right? They're gonna go kill the Tarosh. But also trying to lifesteal. We can go here. I want to be able to strike that Stally. Right? So I want to be able to strike that Stally. The problem is that now we lose to Veigar. Right? So now if the opponent has Veigar, we lose to the Veigar. But I'm going to pretend that the Veigar is not real. I don't think I have any other choice there. I don't think I have any other choice there. Balfis? We could technically get the Tarosh back here. We could get lucky. We could get lucky and get the Tarosh back. The opponent should hit this. The opponent should always hit that. Makes the most sense. If that's the case, maybe we just go for the host then. Because the problem is that we have to open attack, right? Well, I guess we don't have to open attack anymore. We have Atrocity. So maybe we can go... We can go here. The problem is that the opponent's going to summon its Stally, right? So opponent's going to summon its Stally. We can go like this. It's never enough. Actually, it is just enough. It is enough. Opponent's going to try to lifesteal and we can Atrocity the lifesteal target. Still not enough. Alphys? So we lose, right? No matter what, we lose now? Just because the opponent had the second Balfis? Yeah, this is dealing too much damage. And there's no way for me to get rid of all my units. There's no way for me to get rid of my units. So I guess it had to be the open attack. It had to be the open attack to stop the lifesteal. Opponent still goes the same thing, but then one of my units gets through. pushing 4, and then we push the other 5. So we had lethal. I guess now we would have lethal because of the battle fees, right? So we never had lethal because of the battle fees. At most, all that we can do is literally nothing, right? Because the opponent decides to save this unit. We're pushing 0 damage here. Yeah, we're pushing 0 damage here. Ah, that sucks. That darkness just got too big too quickly. If it wasn't for how big that darkness got, we got a chance. And then the opponent also getting Stally out of the shadow, out of the Stocky Shadows, and so just winning the game. So GG's. In this match, we'll be going up against Pirate Aggro. I think we're very well positioned against Pirate Aggro. We have a lot of drain and a lot of lifesteal between Gwen, between our 2-drop that can also lifesteal. I think we have a lot of good value. Wow, are we ever going to do Strike of the Band? Just so that we have blockers? There's no way, right? I'm kind of scared about the fact that we don't have any 1-drops. I think I have to just mulligan for the 1-drops. Okay, perfect. We get Kayn, we get Gwen, so we have double lifesteal here. We have the Forsaken by Kai too. I like the host first, just to get the Hallowed buff in the graveyard, right off the bat. That way the Forsaken by Kai next turn is pushing 3 damage if the opponent doesn't want to block it. Cool. We can actually get them back too, right here. We get a second Gwen, which I think is actually better than the Fire. Yeah, I like the second Gwen. I think having access to the Thread the Needle can actually be really impactful in this game. I think actually having access to Thread the Needle could be very impactful. Because you can actually potentially kill, like, you can potentially kill, like, a Fervor target, right? Not only that, but Thread the Needle, a second Gwen also saves us against opponent having access to Riptide Sermon. So that's also another benefit of it. Now, if the opponent commits their mana here, okay, so they don't have Riptide Sermon next turn. That's a good roll. That's such a good roll for them. That's such a good roll for them, huh? Huh. Wow. Now, we can just play Gwen now. Opponent doesn't have Riptide Sermon, then we can also play Kayn. Or we could have this formal invitation to have more units, more blockers. We get to heal back up to 16. This is pushing Baha'i. Okay, opponent's gonna stun. Alright. The stun is awkward because now it means that we have to sacrifice our Gwen. But this is what I was talking about. I'm willing to sacrifice Gwen here. Because of the fact that we ended up with another Gwen in our hand, I'm actually willing to sacrifice her. And I think it's always Kayn. So I always think it's Kayn here because he doesn't lose to the Riptide Sermon. Opponent has exactly 6 mana for it. We can go for the Forsaken Bakai before we commit the Gwen. Yeah, so this is a play to play around Sermon. Opponent obviously has access to Fervor now. We're going to play Forsaken Bakai first to have them tap out of the Fervor. We go here. I like the second Kayn. I think I like having access to the removal. Doesn't tap out of it. Doesn't tap out of it, unfortunately. So if they have the Sermon, we get punished. I think I have to do it. I think I have to do it. I guess what we can do is do the Ghastly Ban. Then do the Gwen and potentially do the Harbor on the Gwen. Yeah, I think I have to do it. If the opponent has the Sermon, they have the Sermon. 7 mana is just enough for them to have Sermon. If it's not Sermon, we can put the Harbor on the Gwen, getting rid of this Hallow buff, right? And that would be enough to level up Gwen on 1 shot. That's crazy. That is quick. That is crazy. So now we don't have to worry about Riptide Sermon either. So now Gwen is going to level up in 1 shot. The opponent has to block the Gwen, right? We still get to heal 2. We know that they have a Fervor. We can go like this. We don't need to kill the Twisted Fate. We can just kill the Elusive, which is the scariest part of their deck. Kayn is going to level up next turn because we're going to have access to another Kayn. Gwen levels up right here. I guess opponent could have Fervor to deny the Gwen level up. Which is probably better for them because Gwen is going to be healing up way too much. But Kayn is also going to start healing up a lot. Yeah, I will fervor. If the opponent got the fervor, I will fervor. The question you have here is, do you fervor to deny the Kayn or do you fervor to deny the Gwen level up? Right? And the opponent decided that it's better to fervor to deny the Kayn, which I don't think I agree with that. So I don't think I agree with that because the Gwen is still gonna, like, the Gwen is gonna heal for so much, right? We have enough Hallowed buffs in the graveyard that Gwen is always gonna be healing for 5, right? So Gwen healing for 5 is just way too big. And the Kayn is going to level up regardless if the opponent attacks here. No. I guess opponent could have access to... This is 6, so opponent could technically kill us. So we need to block as much damage as possible. So we go here, here, here. We lose to the fervor now. I guess we lose to the fervor now, huh? Because this is dealing an additional 1. Ha. So we have to play as if we have a way to stop the fervor. Because we do have draws to save us, right? We have the Furious Wielder. We do have the Furious Wielder. Do I even want to do the Kayn Shadow Step? We always lose to fervor. Is there a way that we don't lose to fervor? Because we're presenting lethal next turn, right? We're presenting lethal next turn. I guess that's not true. To present lethal next turn, we have to go like this. So to present lethal next turn, we have to go like this. Oh, wait. No, yeah, because this only works with Kayn, right? This only works with Kayn. I was like, we could have done that on Gwen, but this only works with Kayn. So we're gonna go for the Raz, and we're gonna force the fervor out of the opponent. We're gonna need to top deck the Furious Wielder. That's the only out that we have to survive against fervor. It could also be a second Gwen. Could also be a second Gwen. This is lethal because of the overwhelm regardless. So it has to be Furious Wielder or second Gwen. Nothing else matters. We also could just hope that the opponent can make it rain, and they have make it rain instead of fervor. They had the make it rain instead of the fervor. Alright, ended up working out. It was a lot closer, right? The last attack from the opponent ended up being a lot stronger than I expected it to be. So GG's. In this match, we'll be going up against Entox, playing Nami, Norra, Shellfolk, right? I like the host. I like the host a lot, and I like the Phantom Butler because opponent actually struggles with fearsome blockers. Okay, I like the Fire now better than the host. So the Fire is a little bit better than the host in this situation. We could potentially push a ton of damage. I wish I could get my champions soon, though. Right, that's the one thing we need to be careful about. Opponent does have access to. Not a ton of removal, right? They don't have a ton of access to removal, which is the problem with that deck. Oh, the overwhelm is kind of huge. The Pot of Pain is also very good, though. The overwhelm might be better. The overwhelm might be better because it makes any or Hallowed buffed units a big threat, right? And the overwhelm works better with Gwen as well. So it's definitely just gonna be the overwhelm. In case, because I know the overwhelm is worse with Kayn, but it is better with Gwen. So this is kind of like a hedge in case that we don't draw Kayn, that we instead draw the Gwen. We have enough Hallowed buffs to make this worth it. And with Atrocity as a potential backup, maybe we just need to push just enough damage to get there. Okay, we do the Kayn regardless. We go Phantom Butler. Opponent's gonna have access to their Double Trouble next turn. More likely than not. They could play the Norra right now and try to get value that way. But again, they struggle with the fearsomes. So I'm not too concerned about that. We can always do the host into the Fisher Whack. But we can do a second Fire Ref. Scout? Oh yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. This is so good. So now we're gonna have Scout on the Kayn, which allows us to pretty much level up the Kayn, right? Opponent's gonna have to have Shellfolk to stop. I mean, sorry, Minimorph to stop this Kayn. Heavy Metal. I'm surprised that the opponent went for the Heavy Metal there, especially considering that this created our Hallowed buff, right? I'm surprised that the opponent went for it that way. Obviously, the only downside here, I mean, they're gonna have to block the host. They're gonna have to block the host, which is gonna give us another Hallowed buff. Which now we're gonna have 2 Hallowed buffs, and we're gonna have Kayn with Scout. We need to save 2 spell mana next turn, so we can play the Conductor and have exactly 2. Or we can just play the Ranger Knight. We could just play the Ranger Knight. But I kind of want to greed out the Kayn. Now, opponent does have enough. I think we greed out the Kayn first. I think we greed out the Kayn level up first. Opponent does have enough to do a Minimorph, right? On the Kayn. Which should be the only problem. If we put the Scout on the Kayn, it also means that we lose his weapon. Right? So we lose the Scythe, which could be a problem. I still think I like it. I still think I like it like this. Let's go ahead and kill this guy first. We also have the Hallowed buff, right? So it doesn't even matter. We can then pull the Blaze Squire. Force the opponent to block. This levels up, and now we get Kayn, right? Now we get a Kayn that's gonna have Overwhelm. What if it's not Overwhelm? What if this game is a Shadow Assassin game? What if this is actually the rare Shadow Assassin game? I think it is. Because we have the Fisherwhack. Let's go back. Let's think about it one more turn. Let's think about it one more turn, right? There's the Shellfolk. Opponent's gonna get a ton of my weapons, right? I do like the Shadow Assassin game plan here. But I also feel like that's a mistake. I think it's just Ras. I think it's just Ras. Because we do have the Hallowed buffs anyways. So we always have the Hallowed buffs regardless, right? So opponent's just gonna go a ton of value here. We can go the Ranger Knight Defector, right? And give her Overwhelm. And because we have the Hallows in the graveyard, she's gonna push a ton of damage. Because she has Scout. Opponent's even putting more Hallowed buffs in our graveyard, so that's fine with me. Yeah, we're just gonna go like this. So this is Scout Overwhelm. That's gonna get buffed up by additional 3. You can swindle all you want. All that we have here that you can use is Atrocity. So you can swindle all that you want. All that we have here is Atrocity. That could be relatively useful to them. I don't even care about their little Burblefish. Because we're just looking to win this turn. We have enough mana for Atrocity as well. And this is dealing a ton of damage. Opponent just burn a card. Yeah, like this is dealing 8 damage if the opponent doesn't block with Shellfolk. Even if the opponent Minimorphs, by the way, the Overwhelm stays. So we're still pushing the 4 damage. Which puts us in range to just kill with the Atrocity. Yeah, that's why the Minimorph doesn't matter, right? We go like this. We have the Atrocity, and that's game. And there we go. Oh, he knew that I had Atrocity because he did the Swindle last turn. But the Defector, and that's why Fire is so good in this deck, right? Because you can see us there just high-rolling weapons, like Scout and like Overwhelm. And that's why the Improvised units are just so good. So, GG's. Hey, welcome back, everybody. You kind of see what I'm talking about, right? The Hallowed buffs have made a lot of difference. And you saw a lot of times where we literally just won and just put so much pressure because of the Hallowed buff. You even got to see that game where the Keeper of the Bots literally just healed us all the way back to full because of a combination of Hallowed buffs plus equipment just making it work. Now, if we're talking about just mulligans, right? We do want to keep some early units, right? So we want to play the Host, the Bakai, Forsaken Bakai. Literally, just play for your early units. So Host, Bakai, Phantom Butler are all really good keeps. Keeper of the Bots sometimes as well, because that way you at least have multiple cultists to draw the Kayn. But you really be looking for the Host and the Forsaken Bakai and the Phantom Bowler to really get started. I like to keep one Gwen if I have her. I think our champions are very important in this deck, so I don't hate keeping the Gwen. I do like keeping the Shadowblade Fanatic as well if I really have some other early units. If I really have early units, I keep the Fanatic, because that's another cultist that could potentially help us to draw Kayn later in the game. Because at the end of the day, you need to have 3 cultists to be able to draw the Kayn, right? So having the Fanatic ends up working out, especially if you already have a Forsaken Bakai. That fulfills 2 out of 3 condition. And this guy has quick attack as well, which ends up working out really well with your Hollow buff to be able to push damage. So I'm looking for Host, I'm looking for Bakai, I'm looking for Keeper, Phantom Butler, and Shadowblade Fanatic. And if I really have an early enough curve, then I'll keep the Gwen. Sometimes get greedy and keep the Kayn, but most of the times you probably just want to draw Kayn anyways from summoning the Cultist. Really, as you saw, one of the biggest powers of this deck is that you do have a lot of lifesteal. So between the Keeper of the Bots, between the Gwen, and between the level of Kayn, you do get to heal up a lot, which can keep you in the board against stuff like Pirates. So just keep that in mind as you're playing this deck. But enough about that. Hope you enjoyed all the games today. I had a lot of fun with this deck. I actually think it's pretty fun. If you like the content, as always, please make sure to subscribe below. It helps us out a lot. You can also like the video to make this algorithm go up, up, and up. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.